purple tea. All right, see, one of the reasons why I come to the specialty food show is not only to get all the incredible free food and samples, but it's also to find out all the new cool things. So I'm here with Bhavin Shah and Dhaval Shah, and they're with the International Tea Importers from California. All right, so welcome to New York. Now, you're wearing purple shirts, and it's got hashtag Purple Tea Experience, unlike Purple Haze, or the Jimi Hendrix Experience. I'm a rock and roll guy. I do a lot of music on that show. But I saw purple tea. I've never seen. There's white tea, there's green tea, there's red tea. So what's this thing with purple tea?
It is a amazingly unique new product. It's a completely new category of tea. We just launched it last week at the World Tea Expo, and it is, as you said, it's unlike black, green, oolong, white. It's purple. It's purple tea, and the reason it's purple because we're looking at a TV screen here with tea fields, and the tea actually flushes purple, and when you produce it, it is purple, and in your cup, when you add some lemon, it turns purple. It's the only tea that does that. We think it's a completely new category of tea. We're putting it on the map. We're really excited about it. Hashtag Purple Tea Experience if you want to experience it.
Do. I had to break it to Jimi Hendrix. All right, so what are the properties of this tea that's good for you? Because I know that you're supposed to eat the rainbow. You eat all kinds of colors because the more colors there are, the more antioxidants. So you want, yellows and oranges and things like that for the beta carotene. And like blueberries have, what is it that blueberries have?
Antioxidants.
Okay, I didn't know how to pronounce that, so I'm glad you bailed me out of that one. I always try to sound really good on the radio, but sometimes I have to fake it. So what does it do for you?
No, sure. So, this tea is rich in antioxidants. It has like you said, the rich anthocyanin properties is what makes it purple. So it has a lot of, unique health benefits similar to green tea. It's, mild in caffeine. It's supposed to be good for, a lot of health benefits such as your heart and all that stuff. So we're going to not claim too much health properties because we're conducting a study.
Okay, so I'll give the disclaimer. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA and are not intended to diagnose or treat any disease. Okay, I did that for you.
We're working with a major university right now, and they're doing...
University of Whitestone, Queens? Not just
University of California, Davis.
Oh, okay. That is a major, yeah.
And they're doing, we've asked them to do an independent research to figure out, is this actually higher in antioxidants? Is it lower in caffeine? And does it have the health effects? So hopefully that white paper will come out and they'll prove that.
Purple paper.
Or purple paper. Exactly right. You're getting into the spirit. Yeah. We got to get you a T-shirt.
I want a T-shirt. I'll proudly wear that. What does tea do for us in general? What does tea do for us? I know it's refreshing. Sometimes on the summer days you like it because it cools you down. In the winter it makes you feel warm. It's light. It's not like coffee. Can be kind of heavy and oily and acidic. And tea is never like that.
Also,
And yeah, go ahead.
Although there's caffeine level, coffee, what it tends to do is gives you jitters and makes you crash, right? If you drink too much of it, you get a little shaky. Tea doesn't have that effect. It gives you the right amount of caffeine, and it's also a healthier alternative, right? That's why it's becoming the number one consumed beverage in the world.
Well, it's very clean. It's clean tasting and clean energy.
Well, if you think about in the world, tea is the second most drunk beverage.
What is first?
Behind water.
Yeah. Okay.
Here in the U.S., it's probably, beer, wine, bourbon, and then tea.
I can't believe that bourbon beats
coffee
tea.
and then tea. But if you look globally, it's, tea is the most drank beverage in the world after water.
Right.
And that's what we're trying to bring to the U.S., right? We need more people in the U.S. to drink tea.
All right, well, we're going to help right here on this radio show, taking care of business. So the purple tea comes from Kenya.
Yes.
We were talking about why Kenya?
So Kenya is right now the only producer of the purple tea. This was an actual wild bush that grew about 30 years ago in India, and they kind of gave it to the Kenyans to do more research and study on it. So the Kenyans spent about 25 years studying, researching it, and trying to recreate a clone of this plant, which they successfully did about 5 years ago. So they encouraged all the small-scale farmers in Kenya to make the investment and plant this bush and let it sit and mature fully for 5 years before they start plucking it. Now, for Kenya,
that's patience.
Yeah,
that's patience.
But remember, some people, this is a loss of income because, they're constantly plucking tea and, getting revenue out of it, paying their farmers. So for them to actually make this investment speaks volume that they knew this was going to be a huge product down the line. So 5 years is now up. Bhavin and I made a trip to Kenya ourselves. We checked out the product. We made sure that the product that they were producing was a U.S. market-ready product. And as it became, more clearer to us that this was ready, we decided to bring the purple tea to the U.S. and, introduce it to the U.S. market and, share it with everyone one cup at a time with the purple tea experience.
We went last year, and, literally, we flew into Kenya, we got in a car, and drove from west of the Rift Valley all across to east of the Rift Valley on the Kenyan roads. Our Kenyan host kept telling us, don't worry about the roads, they're Kenyan massages. But we literally went farm to farm, factory to factory to find who has the tea that's ready and mature to produce. So we found a major producer a cottage factory in Nandi Hills, Tumoy Teas, and they had spent 5 years, they had the patience, they spent 3 years figuring out how to produce it, and now they've got it right. And so we imported the first container came by sea of purple tea into the U.S. last December. And we've got more container loads coming this year, and we're excited. We've got it available.
Did you have any problems with customs? Because they probably never saw it. They're like, what's this? You're like, purple tea? And they're like, yeah, right. They don't make that.
We bring in tea from all over the world. So.
How does the Kenyan purple tea differ from the other Kenyan teas that they grow?
So most tea in Kenya, Kenya is one of the largest, if not the largest, exporter of tea, black tea, in the world. Most people don't know this.
I didn't know that.
But most of their tea is what we call lower grade CTC. So it's not specialty tea. It's just commodity tea.
Okay.
Commands very, very low pricing, and it goes in your tea bags that,
Diner tea.
I'm gonna use it. Can I use that?
Diner tea.
I've been looking for a word other than
it's diner tea.
You know,
when you order a cup of tea in a diner, that's what you get.
Other than a word that I can't use on the air.
Right.
Tea.
FCC compliant.
So this gives them an opportunity to create a specialty tea that commands higher pricing.
Helps the economy. Yeah.
And helps the economy, helps the small scale farmers, puts them to work. Putting this on the map is really 360, helps all around, right? It brings great tea to people in the U.S., which helps us try to move tea as a category above bourbon. And it helps the farmers in Kenya.
So what are the other teas that you have other than the purple tea in your company? You're the Waterfall Tea Company.
So Waterfall Tea Company is our brand, and we sell tea from India, China, Japan, Sri Lanka, Kenya, Taiwan. Tea is now being produced in Latin America. We're importing tea from Latin America. So we import from all over the world. If there's tea being grown, we're evaluating it. What kind of differentiates us is before we import the tea, we will work with the farmers, work with the manufacturers. If we need to go there, we'll go there and see the production before we bring it in so that we can have confidence that what we're bringing in is the best quality. So just in the past 12 months, I've been to Kenya, India, Japan. Coming up is, China. We're scouring the world to look for tea. So,
does the United States have a climate that's suitable for tea? For tea growing?
Not really.
Okay, so what is it about?
There is some tea being grown in the U.S.
Is there real? Okay, where?
Yeah, there's some
like Florida or something?
No, there's some in the South and in the Carolinas. They're trying it, but the only place where that I've had tea that's grown in the U.S. that is suitable for consumption is Hawaii.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, yeah.
The amount of tea they can provide is, maybe sufficient for Long Island.
Well, but they're also big on Kona coffee because that's really their market.
Yes.
They're known for that.
Yeah.
So how did you guys become tea meisters?
Well,
That's a technical word.
Tea master, tea sommelier.
Tea sommeliers.
Tea sommeliers, right?
Yes.
That's right. Where's the little cup? Aren't you supposed to? Oh, no. Aren't you supposed to hang the cup like the wine guy?
No, look at my business card. Chief sommelier.
No, but if you're really a sommelier, you're supposed to carry the little, like it looks like a medallion, and you sip on it.
We'll have to find something.
You need
like
something.
that.
You got to have that, even if it's like a Dixie cup.
I know we're gonna send you one too.
There you go. Yeah. But if you're going to be a sommelier, you got to, the whole thing. So, how did you get into this? I mean,
so this is a family business.
Right.
Our uncle founded the business over 25 years ago, and he is a
legend in the tea business?
He is a legend in the tea business.
You can say it. It's okay. You can brag.
He received the Lifetime Achievement Award, was one of the youngest to ever receive a Lifetime Achievement Award by the World Tea Association several years ago. And he really put this industry on the map in the U.S. He is the proverbial story of starting to import tea. He was literally importing a chest of tea at a time, selling it out of his garage, and built this humongous business now where, he's bringing in tea. We're bringing in tea from all over the world.
So where was the original tea from?
India.
Okay, but was there a specific part of India?
South India.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what kind
where
of
he grew up.
Okay, what kind of tea was it that he brought in? Just black tea?
It was black tea. Nilgiris is the specific region in South India. It's a tea growing region. And when he was bringing it into the U.S., the small number of tea people that existed in the U.S. had never even heard of Nilgiri teas. So he put Nilgiri teas on the map. Then he started introducing other types of tea. Over the years, he introduced chai into the U.S. market.
Oh, so he's responsible for that.
He's responsible for chai. He introduced the first chai into the U.S. market. He introduced yellow tea into the U.S. market. And so we're following in his footsteps and trying to introduce purple tea.
How has tea growing changed around the world in the last 25 years to the extent that you've noticed any changes at all? I mean, is that definitely the one thing I noticed is much more of a push for organic, which is nice to see.
Organic, fair trade, Rainforest Alliance. It's become. There's been a lot more effort to make sure that money that you spend when you buy a box of Waterfall tea
gets spread around.
Eventually gets all the way back and actually goes to the farmers themselves.
So they can keep producing more tea.
And
they're paid fairly.
Right, and no farms, no food. So, not everything can be bulldozed.
So, from that perspective, that's what's really changed. But the tea growing and manufacturing process, and it's an art, and it's beautiful. If you ever get a chance to go to a tea plantation and see, the plucking process requires so much attention to detail. Just how you pull the leaf.
Right, because you probably can't damage the whole tree.
Right. How you pull
can't
it
be
off the
haphazard.
bush.
Yeah.
And then how you transfer it from the farm to the factory, and then once it gets to the factory, how you produce it, all goes into the flavor profile.
Is any of these pictures on your website or anything like that?
Yeah, we've got plenty of pictures on our website.
And what's that website address?
Waterfallteas.com.
Waterfallteas.com. All right. Bhavin and Deval, you guys are awesome.
We actually have one of the farmers here from Kenya who produces the purple tea. I think he's walking around. But,
so maybe we'll get him on a separate segment. All right, great. All right, thanks.
Look for the Kenyan with the purple tea T-shirt.
I'm sure you can't miss him. Well, thanks for being on the show. I want to get a picture of you guys.
Thank you.
Right,
Absolutely.
thank you.